This week in car audio. Tune in. We'll be talking about bass, talking about chips, talking about rings. You ain't got them, zip your lip. You got a problem you haven't found, check your grounds. The show about to start. Tune in. This week in car audio. Yeah. Tune in. This week in car audio.
Welcome to This Week in Cardio with your host, the Judge, Doug Stockton, co-hosted by Mr. Jeffrey Fernandez. What's good, Jeff?
Hey, Doug. How you doing?
Just fine. Anything new up with you, sir?
No, nothing new since last we spoke.
Oh, yeah, there is. Just fine. Anything...
Yes, there is. I
Yeah.
guess not directly
Not with
involved
you
with
directly.
But yeah, some big news coming out of. I guess it might have been released at SEMA, so to speak.
Okay. Yeah.
You can go ahead and give them the good news, or I guess.
Go ahead, because I'm trying to set up the podcast.
Oh, I got you. So I saw this picture on Facebook of our good friends Jacob Fuller, Scotty Johnson, and Nicholas Wright. Turns out Scotty Johnson acquired Incriminator Audio, and Nick is still the CEO, I believe I'd read. But yeah, so Scotty, now has Incriminator Audio.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's definitely was a competitor. Started
They
his
all
business.
were.
Yeah.
All of them were. All those guys were.
Yeah. So, it's really cool to see how a hobby they had turned into something so lucrative, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And they're definitely like individuals that have built their own place in the basshead community and turned it into a living.
Oh yeah.
So, that's just awesome.
Yeah, but you know that saying, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life because it's all just fun.
Right. I'm almost done sharing. That is it. All right. Greg Colin and Greg Cleary are also compete everywhere guys now. I wonder what that is. That coming off of our YouTube?
Wait, it says 8:32. Oh wait, yeah, that's probably your time.
Yes, that's
Is
my
it?
time. That is my time.
Oh yeah, I just did a test. Okay, there it is. Interesting.
Oh, that's the
How,
YouTube, Facebook.
I wonder how the
That's
conversation started.
that's very interesting because I don't see it happening here on Facebook. I only see your test.
Oh.
That's interesting. Huh. So, all right.
Is it
I guess we're just stealing comments from somewhere. Oh yeah, there's the two tests, and they are not showing up on my feed over here. That's interesting. Okay. Well, it's kind of working. That's all good. Anyway, our guest tonight, first year competing as a DB drag competitor, and he won Pro Stock 1K.
What?
Yeah. Team Ain't Loud. Another one of those Ain't Loud guys. Miguel. How's it going, Miguel?
Oh, pretty well. How you guys doing?
Pretty
Doing
good.
good, doing good.
So why don't you tell us about, how you came to do DB drag, what you were competing in prior to that, and that kind of thing.
Well, I started in Mecca in 2022,
Okay.
and done that for a year and a half. And then I started into Iasca,
Mm-hmm.
and then I of course Slam, running every org at Slam, and really liked the sealed classes over the headrest. Headrest is pretty pretty interesting, but too many loose rules, if you ask me, with that one.
Okay.
And I was like, wasn't really my thing. So got into Ayahuasca really, really well. And this year, everyone was like, you should do DB drag. Like, think you can win it this year. So I was like, well, I'll give it a try. I mean, I run a pretty unconventional vehicle, and people was like, you're not gonna get that thing loud. And I was like, we'll see what it does. And it's gotten pretty decent. So
Okay. What vehicle is it that's
the
unconventional?
2007 Jeep Commander.
Jeep Commander. So is that like a Patriot style or the
Yeah,
CJ?
but yeah, it's like a Patriot but bigger.
Okay. Okay. Hey, there's Sam Dunn, the sabotager. Never gonna let him down.
Oh,
So yeah, Sam Dunn there in the chat says, "Let's go, champ." So once again, Sam Dunn, another Team Ain't Loud kind of guy. Why don't you tell us about the Ain't Loud team or how you got part of that?
Well, Sam is local to me. He's my neighbor.
okay.
Mutual friends for a long time. Him and Kevin Parker started Ain't Loud back in 2014, and I've been friends with Kevin, for 15 years prior to that, and just being around everybody, when they started it, and watching it build from ground up. And back in, was it 2021? I was like, hey, I think I want to be part of you guys' team. What do you guys think about it? I started off, then I just had a single ZV510 on a SAZ 2500, and I done 143, with that. And I was like, that's all right. And then, how that goes. It quickly escalates, 215s, bigger box, bigger amps. Whatever.
No.
I wonder if anyone's ever just satisfied where they're at, where they started. It was like, no, I'm just going to keep this system for as long as I can. Everybody is, they catch that bug and they're like, man, I want more. I got to have more. I want it now.
Definitely.
Yeah, we got Corey Ain't Loud, McGaw.
Oh.
McGaw. We got
He's
Presley
out of your
Stees.
state.
Oh, is he?
He's out of Texas.
He's
Yeah.
in Tejas.
Yeah, Texas.
All right. We got Presley Stees in there. And then obviously Sam Dunn, Boomin' Jeff, that Jeffrey Fernandez guy. You've come a long way, Miguel. We got Mike Watson. Says good evening. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. And you know what? To be true, Sam and the group of guys he runs with are actually not bad guys if you're trying to get loud to help get you loud.
Yeah.
So is this box and whatnot? Is that like totally your own design,
No,
or is it collaboration or?
The box is was originally a Heath Lay design box, and
another
Sam,
Texan.
Yep, Sam had it for a while, and he done some modifications, and I got it, and we worked on it.
And then you got rid of them all. I mean, it is Sam. You might want to get rid of his modifications.
We worked on it and done some little things. So to show you how far I've come with the Jeep. When I started in Mecca, I started off with a Street 4, and that's like a 7,000 watt class. It took me 7,500 watt class. It took me 7,200 watts to do a 152 at the headrest.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. So now I can do a 52.4 on 1K.
Okay.
Corey
actually asked, Miguel, what was your biggest obstacle you had to overcome?
Myself.
No.
Okay.
Like
how so?
Just doubting myself.
Okay.
It's like, because of course, untraditional platform, I have nobody to ask. Like, hey, how did you overcome this barrier when you hit this peak? What about this? It's all learn as we go and trying things. It's been tough, but that's been the most rewarding part though, because I mean anybody can buy like a CRX or a Civic, and be like, hey, give me your build plan on that,
Hmm.
Mhm.
So doing something that's
But
all my
somebody had to be the first to do that, though,
yep,
right?
exactly. Yep. And
Um,
everybody was like, you're never gonna get it loud. Sam
yeah,
was like, dude, he's like, buy something else. He's like, don't do anything with it. I was like, yeah, all right, I will. Just saving up. And I was like doing a little bit here and there and seeing improvements. Like,
Mhm.
yeah,
hmm
I'm gonna keep going a little bit with this. And here we
yeah.
are.
Yeah, like who?
Go
Oh,
ahead, go
sorry.
ahead, Jeffrey.
Oh, I was gonna say like who knows where it'll be now with the Jeep Commanders. Like you
Yeah,
said, there had to have been a first CRX, and then now
yeah.
everybody's running CRX.
Yeah.
Maybe
hmm
before the CRXs, there was like the vans, and everybody thought the vans were the way to go, and then out to CRXs. So who knows? Maybe we'll see more Jeep Commanders, all because of
Yep.
Miguel here.
Corey
Yep.
says he's a trendsetter. Um, you know the I did it with a Subaru Legacy station wagon, right? I
Right.
was the third guy in the world to hit a 150. First guy was a CRX. Second guy was a S10, or not an S10. He had the B2000, I believe.
Truck.
Extended cab truck. No, truck. Yeah, I think he had the B2000. And then I was the third guy in the street class with a Subaru station wagon.
Nice.
Um, so that was all kind of cool. We got Dave Graham popping in here. Says, "What's good, boy? Uh, got one of my loudest true daily drivers. His kids around car out there.
Hmm.
So you
Yep.
drive your kids to school in
Oh,
the in your world champion vehicle, huh?
Yep. It's my daily driver. I drive it every day. I drive my kids around in it every day.
Huh? And then Steve Willis, he was another guy, right? He came out with the Suzuki Samurai, and
Samurai.
everybody
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like, "What the hell?" And he got that Suzuki Samurai loud as hell.
Yep.
I don't know if you ever saw that vehicle. That might have been before
Yep.
your time, but
There's
yeah.
somebody using a Samurai now. I think it's Kenneth.
Well, he sold his.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Okay.
The guy who bought it is using it as a plow truck.
As
Oh,
a what? A plow
cloud truck,
truck?
Yeah.
snow plow.
Yep.
Oh no. Well,
That's
make
awesome.
that functionality.
Hmm.
Yep.
Nick Samino popping in there. Oh yeah, Sam says you drive him around. He drives like Mario Andretti. I thought he
That's
was
right.
going to say you drive him nuts.
I
So,
do that too.
um, so so if that's the case, you didn't have anybody to call. Is there like one thing that you were willing to share with people that you found with that vehicle that was very vehicle specific to that type of vehicle?
Really, I couldn't even tell you. It's my first audio vehicle that I've ever built. So
Hmm.
I I really don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I've
So
talked to other people like dead in their vehicles, but
right.
I've never done anything completely like that.
I wonder how the dashes look. Is it like a typical
It, it's
dash?
it's a
Is
long.
there? Ah, okay.
It's like from here, almost to the tip of my elbow. So, I mean, that's a good probably 20 inches.
20 inches about, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a real deep dash.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's definitely one of those things, um, I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter what vehicle you have. If you put the work in, you can get it loud.
Yep.
Now, there is an advantage to certain style and types of vehicles,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
any vehicle can be loud with the right amount of work and time put into it.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
there's vehicles like certain CRXs, certain year models. If you deaden the CRX, it actually gets quieter.
Really.
Yeah. That's with the vans in the no wall builds. You would think you'd want as much battery as you can, but the more batteries you add to the back and you take up that volume, you don't get as loud. So you got all this extra reserve and you got this power in there, but you can't. It doesn't help. It actually hurts your score. I mean, Jeffrey found that out. You
Oh
know.
yeah.
So there's always a nuance that people don't think about that may make a huge difference. Um, so what do you actually have in your vehicle?
I have two Sundown Compact Neo V3s on
Hmm.
Sundown Team 10K.
Okay. So does that mean are you on like Team Sundown or anything, or is that just the brand?
Yeah, I'm on Team Sundown, and I'm also on Team XS Power.
Okay. So now you're on Team Incriminator, I guess.
Team Scotty.
Team Scotty Johnson.
Yeah.
No, like I said, I'm gonna continue to text him. I got texts going back all the way to 2020 saying, "Yeah, dude, just let me find some time. I'll get on the podcast." And I'll continue to text him, and he'll continue to tell me, "Yeah, I just don't have time for it right now." He's at SEMA, I believe, right now, so definitely doesn't have time this week. Uh, oh, who's that? Sam says Team Systemic Power.
Yeah, that's the parent company.
Yeah. Oh, Corey asked Jeffrey, is the difference of adding more power outweigh the loss of SPL from taking up space?
Hmm. So you said by adding more power?
Yeah.
Um, you know what? Every time I get asked like some kind of these questions, I'm like, there's only one way to find out is test it, is test it.
Yeah.
Luckily for Miguel here, you're kind of set with the wattage. So you're 1,000 watts, certain modifications to the vehicle. Of course, you can't have a wall. So I don't know. It's tough to say, but definitely in like say Miguel's class where you're limited on certain factors,
Hmm.
there's like unconventional ways of trying to raise that SPL. So whether it's adding, more or less, or just taking up airspace, or leaving it without it, it's just only one way to find out. It's just to
Yep.
test it.
Yep. Open the glove box. Stupid
Oh
things like
yeah,
that. Have you even
visors.
tried that? Yeah. Have you tried that, Miguel? To
Oh
see
yeah.
what your difference is in opening a glove box? Was that a difference for you at all?
For me, glove box is a loss, but my armrest is a
Oh.
tenth, and like box position,
Uh-huh.
like if I run like 4K, like for SUV2 for Iasca, like I gotta have the box farther back from the hatch. For street stock 1K, I had to have it closer to the hatch. So
So say that again.
for like SUV2, when I ran
Right.
Iasca, I had to
Okay.
have it farther away from the hatch. And
Okay.
for street stock 1K, I had to have it closer to the hatch for a better score.
Are
Eh,
they both out on the dash? Or the sensor both on the dash?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
hmm.
Interesting.
That's interesting. So how big is your port?
8 inch, 8 inch
Okay.
airport, flare to
8 inch
flare.
air flare. Okay. So when you run drag, how close are you to and you have port back sub up, I
Yeah.
suspect.
Yep.
Woo, that's weird. No. Um, how close is your port to the back wall?
It's roughly about 6 inches.
Yeah. So just in general, I will tell you guys, because I've tested stock and extreme builds more than most. And in general, if you have a rear facing port, whatever the size of your port is, that's roughly gonna give you a good dimension in what you want to be from the rear wall of the vehicle.
Right.
If you have an 8 inch port, start at 8 inches and it might be minor increments there, but if you start there, it's going to get you really close to where you want to be. You have a 4 inch port, be 4 inches away from the wall. It gives you a really, really good place to start. Let's see what let's see, Sam. Oh, that's why I love clamp classes. It makes us think outside the box for gains other than adding more power.
Right.
Um, Corey says, will there be shows in the Central Texas area this year? I'd like to get points for 5K class and DB drag. So Anita has actually moved to to Dallas also. At least that's
Oh,
what she
okay.
said at World Finals.
Mhm.
And so she's looking for places. I'm going to help her find some places. And so I think the Dallas metro encompassing area is going to do
Mhm.
really well for shows this year.
But that's what they consider northern Texas. I think
Whatever.
central. I know it's weird, right? Northern, but I think Corey's out of Houston
Austin.
area, Austin. Okay, so I
Austin,
think yeah, that's
isn't
where.
that in like the Gulf of America?
No, I think well, yes, Houston might be more, but
Okay.
yeah, I think that area. I know you guys are
Dave
kind
says
of
the
like almost
Austin
right
area.
between.
Yeah, they say the
Oh
Austin
yeah,
area.
the Austin.
Yeah, that isn't that like 3 hours south of Dallas?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But
So
of course, that's where Wayne and Celise are at
okay.
Austin.
Here's what I'll tell anybody that's anywhere. If you help find a venue that's willing to have a show, there will be a judge that's willing to go and do a show. So if you can find a venue, because those are very difficult to find in a lot of places. But
Oh
if you
yeah.
can find one and they're open to having you, um, it will make a huge difference and it'll help get someone there to help judge a show. Daniel Ain't Loud Tate says, "Who's replacing Wyatt?"
Mm.
Do we have? I don't think anybody's really stepped up. There was a couple of people that were talking about it.
Right. I think there was a competitor we had
Yeah,
on the show that was
yeah,
interested in running a couple of shows.
yep. So this is really confusing me with all these Team Ain't Loud guys in here. Are you sure you guys aren't Team Send It? That's kind of their thing to have a million guys. I got Daniel Ain't Loud Tate, Dave Graham in here, Corey Ain't Loud. Oh, we got what was that? Marius
Yeah, Marius.
Nords. Yeah,
Yep.
okay. Where's he out
Yeah.
of?
He's out of Norway.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
hmm.
So did he compete in the Euro finals?
Yes. I
Oh,
do
well,
believe he took the 5K class.
did he?
Yeah, I
Oh,
do believe so.
at Euro finals.
Yeah, Euro finals. Yes.
All right. Hey, whoa! Good Lord, he just wrote a novel. Okay.
What? I think I missed it.
Oh, it'll come up. Don't worry.
It'll pop up.
It's gonna do
It's
your
got
whole
time to
screen.
populate.
Yes, it does. Um. Oh man, now I gotta scroll up because it's so long. Hold on.
See
Uh,
more.
yeah. Here in Europe, we start having problems with MRP. I
Uh,
understand the MRP, but having it at 30 in freestyle and wall 5K, that is just not right. Hope this gets fixed for next year. Wall 5K cars here in Europe plays 164 plus, but they could not play higher than 162.2 because of the MRP. Hope this is one thing that they're going to change for next year. Emailed Wayne and Celise about it. So I will tell you, Wayne has done some extensive research on this.
mhm,
And, he's not closed minded to the change,
mhm.
but definitely, um, if you can present him with a true documentation and paperwork saying this is why it should be different, then he is open to change. I would say that's accurate, wouldn't you say, Jeffrey?
Yeah, and you know what? He even put it out there on Facebook. He enlisted the
Oh
assistance
yeah,
of several anybody who would listen to assist him with that. So it's not like he pulled numbers out of the air and said, "Okay, we're gonna set it at this," you know. So I think there might have been like one or two changes after the initial.
yep.
Uh, yeah, so um, it just might be one of those fluid. kind of things where, like Marius was saying, it might change. But I know for sure, looking on Facebook, like months leading into World Finals, talking about needing some assistance
Mm-hmm.
on the clamps. So, I mean, it's kind of, it's been out there and they've been working on it. So it's a fluid, whatever you call it. It's all
Yeah.
fluid.
Yeah, I know
So
when the MRP first came out, like I had problems with the MRP
yeah.
because like I have a high efficiency vehicle. Like we ran
Mhm.
it for Iasca 2K, I couldn't even get past 40 watts without triggering it,
Mm.
and I had messaged uh, the group for DB Drag mentioning about it. I was like I'm not even like the loudest guy, and I'm having
Mm-hmm.
problems with it. Like luckily, like after switching subs, I didn't have the issue, and
Okay.
we all, me, Sam, RP, we all, Chris Gregory came to sound check, and we worked on the MRP, doing a bunch of testing with it, several different vehicles, to try to work that MRP problem out, and that's when they lowered it down to 30, because
Mm-hmm.
like we tried several vehicles, so like yeah, that seems to be a spot where, and we tried different amps because they thought it was just amps, and
Right.
we went
Initially.
through sound digital, Terra amps. We went through down for sound amps. We tried different sundown amps, the salts and the teams, and so
Yeah. I mean, you guys had Pandas, you had Jeep, we had,
yep,
I mean, all kinds of different vehicles to test it through, right?
yep.
So, so Corey asked, what's the reason for the MRP? Do you remember, Jeffrey?
Hmm. Not offhand, but I know they were. I think one time at one finals, it was at your satellite in California. There was a competitor from Mexico
Yeah.
uh, that had just tons and tons of problems with it,
Hmm.
and it was something that they had decided to work on, and
Hmm.
um,
So,
yeah.
so the MRP for first we had like what they called song quality, or it was a sanity test for it bred from a sanity test because obviously somebody's not doing 146 dB with 3.5 watts, right?
Mhm.
So that's kind of how it got bred out. There were guys out there claiming, I think somebody claimed 151 dB at like 104 watts. And obviously, sanity check says no. And oh, here's one of the great things about DB Drag. I've talked about it on the show with Jeffrey quite a bit. Is the decision on whether something is functioning properly or not is not the judges. The meter tells us how loud you are. The meter tells us if something isn't right. And that was kind of the thing. It was a sanity check so that a judge can go, hey, that doesn't seem right, and they can look into it. And that was, I believe, the catalyst behind the MRP. Let's see here. He had a super loud, efficient Corsa from Mexico. He did, but his was a amplifier issue that
Right.
kept giving feedback to the clamp and kept
And,
making the clamp stop reading. So
and I think that's been addressed.
yes.
That's what the initial findings were.
Mm-hmm.
But like with continued testing and assistance from the competitors, they kind of tweaked it where it's okay. We now know it's VA now that's being read, and not so much total power.
Right. Um, yeah. Yeah, he so I mean I'm not reading through his whole thing here, but Maria says, he was doing a 160.7 at 4500 watts and 161.7, so 1 dB louder at 2400 watts. So, you know, that would definitely make the the uh, you know, that would definitely bring up questions
Hmm.
on the computer, right? Anyway, so back to Miguel, because that's who we're talking about today. It's all about the Miguel Day today. Um, so Miguel, I like to ask this question: was it a brother, an uncle, a dad, cousin that got you into loud stereos?
My dad.
Your dad.
Yep.
That's awesome. So how can you like speak to how that developed, or you
Oh
know?
yeah,
Okay.
definitely. So it was either 1990 or 1991. My dad had a old, I want to say a '78 CJ Jeep,
Okay.
and me and him, I was, let's see, how old was I? I was like 90 or 91, so I was like 6 or 7 years old.
Dude, I was
We
already out of high school.
right, we we built a box. It had six Pioneer 6x9s and two audio Vox 10s, and I
Uh-huh.
want to say it ended up on a kicker amp. I can't remember if it started on a kicker amp, but that was the jams in the Jeep, and I still got that
Ah,
box. Still got the 6x9s. The 10s have unfortunately just deteriorated into nothing.
oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
The six by nine still rock.
Okay. And you know, so he kind of gave you the love for the bass, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh yeah,
and
loud stereo.
then so so do you remember the time where you just go, dude, this is was it a song? Was it just, you know, a memory with your dad? But do you remember the time that you said, this is what I want to do?
I really don't have a specific time,
Okay.
but my dad was always into like home audio. Like he
Okay.
had
Hmm.
like old Macintosh,
Hmm.
home stereo,
Oh,
and
did,
like he had his own listening room. And
Uh-huh.
I remember listening. The first I remember it was Pink Floyd.
uh,
I want to say it was Hey You, and just hearing the sound quality of it, I was like, man, that's so awesome.
Hmm.
And like that year is when we started building, his box for the Jeep, and I was like, man, that's so awesome. And then a couple years later, my brother, he had a an '84 Toyota Supra, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna build a little stereo in this, and
Hmm.
I was
It
like, man. And then
is your dad still around now, or
my dad's passed away. He
okay?
passed away in 2013.
Okay, because that would have been awesome. You know, we do talk about how our families are important to almost everybody in this, and the SPL community becomes part of your family. But that would have been awesome to be able to share with your dad. You know,
yeah,
your
Oh, for sure.
championship.
yeah, like a full
My dad,
circle
he
moment.
would have been stoked.
Yeah. So what kind of led you to compete? Well, okay, here's another one. So did you start out like getting demos and stuff at shows? Is that kind of
Oh
how you
yeah,
got into it, or?
yeah. Like, well, of course, like I guess in high school, everybody had a car stereo, and like I was always into it, and I was always helping people tinker with stuff, and
Hmm.
so like when I got my license and everything, and even when I didn't have my license, I still had systems in my car, and
Okay.
jams in the house, and it just progressed. Like it started off. The first was two MTX Road Thunder twos on
Uh-huh.
a California Profile 600-watt amp.
All about the Circuit City Special, baby.
Yep,
Uh-oh, there we go.
that was like I want to say that was like a $200 buy.
Uh-huh. Did you ever take home audio and throw it in the back seat of your truck or your car?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely had to do that. Yeah, one of the first systems I put in a car was a Redline RNS home audio system,
mm,
and we put two boxes in the back seat of a car, and then
yep,
jerry rigged it up and got that all done. Sam Dunn said his first loud SPL car he bought was from you.
yep. It was a 1991 Honda CRX SI.
Oh, see, It's certain CRXs. Did you a 91? So it was Gen 2 SI. So yeah, those cars can get loud.
Mhm.
And so it was SI, so it didn't have the flaps in the back.
No, it had the flaps in the back.
It did.
The ones that fold
Yeah,
up and down. Yep,
you
it had
have to
those.
leave them up.
Yep,
If you
and
had
it
the
had
flaps,
a
you had to leave them up.
yeah, it had a sunroof on it too.
Ah, sunroof. You could. Those were the not as loud ones.
Yeah, but
It,
see, I originally got that for $200, and
yeah.
of course I threw a system in it. It was a MTX RFL 15, and
Dang.
had it on a Sundown SAZ 3000. That's where I started off with it.
Yeah.
Wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad. He says Sam ran it at the 2016 DB Drag Finals, his first ever
Oh,
finals.
okay.
That's awesome. Um, so, yeah, is there a demo that you had that just is there any demo that's ever stood out to you?
Hmm.
Like if you're into demos, did you? I mean, like out here on the West Coast where Jeffrey is now and I was. Um, uh, the what's the hearse? Who has that hearse? Ruthless
Ben.
Audio.
Oh, been
Yeah,
ruthless.
Ben. That hearse. I mean, just sticks out like a sore thumb, right?
Oh yeah.
Just nasty demos. Was there ever one that you got that was just like, dude, this is awesome?
I would have to say Steve Duncan. Like
Okay.
that's like I've never tapped out on like an actual music demo except for
Hmm.
Chris Lee. It's the only person that I've ever tapped out with. Of course, being in the hot seat in that thing is it's too much. But for music that's tolerable, it's like it's I love that, and like I'd love to see how far it's came because like you know getting multiple demos from it, 1 year and then the next year, and then seeing how much it had advanced,
Right.
from year to year. I was like, like that's awesome. I
Yeah.
loved it. That's been my favorite of all demos.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, so are you a fan of the Cyclone class then and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, I love music. Like I
Yeah.
play music
Hmm.
in mine. I mean, like it's an
Oh,
SPL setup, but
uh-huh.
I play down to 30 hertz on
Uh,
mine. So
well, you know that the Canadian lady, she was all the way down to 11 hertz on her
Dang.
SPL run for,
Yeah.
dude, that's stupid low.
mhm.
That's really cool. Um, yeah, so Team Ain't Loud, you're all part of that. So another question I do like to ask people that are on here is, um, if tomorrow you decide, hey, I'm retiring from SPL, I'm no longer going to be part of this, is there something you would want the SPL community to remember you for?
um, my humbleness.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I would be the first to cheer on my competitor if they beat me.
Hmm.
Like it. I mean, like when I compete, like yeah, I may be competing against you, but at the end of the day, you're doing something that you love that I love. You
Yep.
know, and
Yeah.
I mean, like last year for Iasca SUV2, me and Peyton Sweeney, we went head to head. He
Hmm.
won by 2/100ths.
Dang.
So and I went
Point
over the next
zero
day.
two.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I went over to him the next day. I was like, "Hey man, congratulations!" And he was like so excited, and he cried a little bit. And he's like, "Man," he's like, "You have no idea how hard I worked." And I was like, "Man, I understand, dude." I was like, "I'm happy for you." And a lot of competitors they'd be like, "Oh man, I don't like that guy. He beat me."
Hmm.
And it's like, so what, man? You lose, you
Yeah.
lose. You win,
Yep.
awesome. It's better if you win, but it's like you can't be hating on somebody else because they beat you because they're a little bit better at what you both like to do.
Yeah.
Eh,
Corey
Exactly. Yeah.
says, very true. One of the most helpful teammates we have. So there you go. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So where do you see yourself progressing? So now that you did 1K, you can't compete in 1K next year, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So where's your plans for progressing, and what are you going to do about that?
So either this year, either I'm gonna do Pro Stock 2K or Pro Stock 5K, and
Okay.
I'm looking into getting a different vehicle for strictly for SPL
Okay.
instead of using my daily. You know, I mean,
Hmm.
because of course the daily, it's a lot harder to, you know, when you got to rip everything out and do dead and put it
Yes.
back together. You know when I like, I'll be at I'll get up, drop the kids off at 9 a.m. and tear apart door panels, be doing deadener, and then I got to put them back on and pick up the kids at 11:30. You know, it's
Right.
pretty taxing. So
Oh yeah.
a lot of stuff hasn't been done. So I really like to get a different vehicle and build something strictly SPL that I can tear apart, do
Hmm.
do it right from the get go.
Have you thought about competing in freestyle?
Oh yeah, I done freestyle this
Okay.
year, freestyle 1K, and I done a 153.3, and it's really off peak for me because my peak it's
Oh, true.
52.5.
Mm.
At my peak 1K, I do a 155 on 1K in the kick.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
what about base race or top dog? Have you explored those classes at all?
Uh, I have I haven't mastered it yet, but it's not something that I'm not for doing. I mean, you know,
Mm,
it's any vehicle can base race. That's what's great about base race. I love that. You know,
Yep.
bring what you got and run it.
Yep. Run what you
exactly.
brung.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Top dog, base race, both, right? That's one of the great things about it. Um, Sean says, you progressed so much, man. Proud to see your progress.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
appreciate it.
And um, you can tell when you won the championship that you were genuinely happy and proud of that win. Your
Oh yeah.
teammates surrounded you. Um, Jeffrey and I talk about how that's a big deal of why we judge, is because to be part of the moments like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
It was great. I was ecstatic.
mhm. So, how many rings did you get?
Just one this year. Well, I got a base wars ring, but I mean,
Okay.
for DB drag, I just got one ring.
Well, only for yourself. You didn't get teammate ones or none of that stuff.
Nah.
They can earn their own.
They all earn their own.
Yep.
Yeah.
We
So
all
did you
put in.
do Iasca also? Because
Uh,
Iasca and DB Drag were unified finals,
yeah,
right?
this year I did not.
Okay.
One of my teammates was competing in SUV 1, and
Mm,
another one was competing in SUV 2, and
Hmm.
it was George Monza for SUV 2, and he's got a Panda, and he does almost a 60, so I couldn't even hang with that. So I was just like, man, this year I'll just sit out for finals this year, and
That's cool.
yeah.
So your plan is probably 5K, you said, for next
yeah,
year.
yeah, 2K or
Um,
5K.
yeah, 2K. Oh, there's another Ain't Loud. Scott Armatus.
Yep, Armadas. Yep,
Yep. Says, proud of you, Miguel.
I appreciate
Um,
you.
yeah, you sure you guys aren't part of Team Send It?
Nah,
Just saying.
see, like we have a Midwest team pretty much, like, from Chicago or that area,
Hmm.
Indiana, Michigan. We're all very, very close knit. Even, a couple other people, that are in different states, like, we just click so well, and we
Hmm.
bounce ideas off each other all the time. And I mean, it's like so much that I have done is with the help of other teammates, bouncing ideas like, well, here's what I know from this type of vehicle, this, that, whatever, try this, try that. I can't
Hmm.
count how many times this year I'm like, hey Sam, I'm gonna go out my driveway and hit this a few times. Let's see what we can find, and I started off testing, and it was like a 149.7, and just testing box and this, that, and whatnot. And, we got it well over 151. Just testing the driveway. He'd be at work, on his lunch break or something, and we'd be on video chat and just hitting it in the driveway until my neighbors came out.
So, your neighbors. So this is something actually we haven't really talked about much, but like your neighbors, do they know that you won a championship? Are you friendly with them? And kind of, hey man, this is what the testing was for and stuff.
No, they don't. Most of my neighbors are all elderly.
Okay.
Like, so when I do it, like, I know they're not home, and so, but like sometimes a neighbor down the street will come out, and I'll see him walking down the street. I'm like, yep, time to turn it off.
So here's one thing I will tell you, which I have learned. If you have a neighbor that's into cars, like if they're into like classic Mustangs or Camaros, but if they're into cars, you can speak to them about your obsession with the car audio, and they'll totally get it. And they'll be, I mean, they'll be 100% on your side. And, they will have an appreciation. Another thing we talk about on here is, you know, truly when somebody has a passion for something and you can hear it and you can see it on everything they're saying, that passion is contagious. So if there's somebody that has a passion for something else and they see your passion, they feel your passion for it and they understand. Car guys are car guys. Doesn't matter if you're into the race car or the car stereo. We seem to appreciate each other,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Sam says my neighbor comes over to drink beer and watch me test.
Yep.
Uh,
Sure.
Dakota Woodward says team ain't loud. Yeah, he's old and amazed at my cars.
Always. He's right.
Yeah, and like I said, when anybody has a passion and people see that passion, it doesn't matter what it is. I don't care if it's cornhole. People see my passion for bowling and, car audio. It's just when people see true passion, it's contagious.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's amazing how much we share that stuff. Let's see. Maria says that's the best thing, helping each other, pushing together to get the results we want. Too many people up here in Norway hate car audio.
Yep.
So
That's unfortunate.
it is.
Where was do you recall Cactus Sounds? Were they out of Norway? I think they might have been.
I think they were.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they were Sweden. I think they were one of the other northern areas.
Okay.
But I don't know if it was Norway.
Mm.
But they weren't Sweden, that's for sure. But yeah, Cactus Sounds. You had who had the original Volvo?
Oh man.
Not Cactus Sounds. That was
The Volvo.
yeah, because Cactus Sounds they were like one of the innovators with the Panda, right?
Okay, yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah. He was pushing the sound deadening rule because we made the rule. Whoa! Holy
Uh-oh.
wow! That was a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. Um, oh yeah, my thing just updated and pushed everything through. Um, anyway,
I was just curious because out of Norway,
yeah,
I know. Yeah, that is kind
I
of
think the Volvo was
far.
out of Norway.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that one there, uh, yeah, I think they were Norway, and I'm trying to remember their names, but they were the first ones to do stupid loud numbers. Wally Johnson popping in.
My boy.
um, no, like I said, So DB drag was what drew you to it? Just because like mic location? Was it a different level of competition? Um, what kind of drove you to DB drag? Say.
The like in car audio, everyone knows like DB drag is like the elite
Okay.
boards run, And like
Mm-hmm.
after giving it a couple years, at first I was like, man, I can't hang in DB drag. There's no way, not in this beater, And then
Mm-hmm.
after a couple of years of really putting some work in, and we talked about it. Everyone's like, yeah, you definitely should, and so I was like, I'll definitely give it a whirl. So
Mm-hmm.
done freestyle and street stock, and I was like, all right, we can do this year.
Sam said he had to talk you into it.
He did. He was like, man, you should do it. Like, I think you could win it. I was like, I don't know. He goes, no. He's like, you're doubting yourself, my boy.
I wonder why that's the like misconception of like competitors thinking that they can't hang in DB drag. I wonder. I used to think maybe it's because sensors on the dash, everything's sealed, and I hear a lot of people say, my seal scores suck. I gotta have my door open, or I gotta put the sensor in the kick. And
Yeah.
They just, you never know till you try. And then like Miguel here, he had to get, tucked into it, but he did it. He loves it. And I wish more people were open that way and not just closed-minded.
Yeah.
Sam says he had to change your name in the chat to Street Stock 1K Champ and then kind of goat you into it.
Yep.
He gave you a goal. Is what he did.
Sure did.
And Wally says we're going to have him base racing soon.
Nice.
So, hey, if you do base race, do it with a knob, not with the stupid freaking deck on the volume button. Gosh. It was so foreign to me doing that at World Finals. But, I'm sure if that's what you practice with, it's probably not as difficult as I made it.
Yeah.
You're going to see that a lot in Texas when you start doing shows out there. Everybody, I mean, probably because of the Tennessee guys, in that area. And a lot of the Texas guys realized, okay, using just the volume knob on the head unit itself, was better than using an actual bass knob, which a lot of people in California do. So that's weird. Maybe it's some kind of regional thing.
Marius says, this is fun to watch while I'm going to work. Hey, Marius, just so you know, we've been doing this since 2020. We have around 300-ish episodes. You can check them out on YouTube, Facebook,
Spotify,
Apple Podcast, anywhere you get your podcast. We do it. We switch it over to audio only, and I try to get that up usually Friday or Monday. So, yeah. Sam says he really wants to get on here, but he has a stupid job. Hey, we all think that our jobs are stupid. I've had to do 2 podcasts since I moved to Dallas from the airport at work. That's how stupid this job is. But no, that's like I said, this is the way, this is an opportunity for us to meet people. You loved your job. You just said it was stupid. But no, this is a way for us to meet the individuals. We see the screen names, we see their scores, but this gives us an opportunity to put a face to the person, and it's not just some guy that you saw doing a run. It's it's more about them and what they do and their day-to-day life, and according to Steve Willis, this podcast is about car audio and bowling. So but that's Calvin that said he loves his job. Sorry.
Okay.
He's the same color, the blue on my screen as Sam. But yeah, your favorite. Oh no, that's a different Calvin. Calvin Friesen.
Yeah, different
It,
Calvin.
yeah, it wasn't your Calvin.
Yeah, I'll have to check on the Calvin, my buddy Calvin. I
I
haven't
know. He
heard from
hasn't.
him in a while.
Yeah, he hasn't been here. Getting on
Uh-oh.
you or anything.
Need a wellness check on that guy.
But anyway, who is there anybody that was an inspiration to you this year that would like stood out for you or that
Mm.
kind of went above and beyond and helped you out?
Sam has a lot because he's my neighbor, and I mean, like literally, he's my neighbor. Like he
Okay.
lives
Hmm.
2 blocks away from me.
Mhm.
Like, and he's really the only one that's close. But like physically, like he's the one who's been there the most. But I mean, so many people from my team has been there, and support and with advice and everything. I mean, I can't really just single out one because it's like I said, our team is like so close knit,
Mhm.
like I can't just say, well, this person's done more than that person because it's an equal win. Like when one of us wins, we all
Mhm.
win. It's really how we take it. When they lose, we all lose.
Mm.
Yeah. So do you guys really just connect through like the group chat, or you guys have get-togethers, or as a team? How do you guys do that?
Well, like the Midwest people, we
Hmm.
all get together at shows. Like I'll drive up to because Charlie Creamer is the one a team member who has a shop,
Okay.
um, and it's an Alsip, and he does Iasca and Midwest SPL shows up there, and
Hmm.
I drive up there, and Sam drives up there, and there's several other of our team members that live in that area of Chicago, and they drive down here to sound check in Lafayette, and we all go to shows, and of course the Slam. We all meet up at
Hmm.
Slam. We have members come from all over the United States to go to Slam, so you
Okay.
know how that goes.
Hmm. That's awesome. You ever meet up with Moses Martinez?
He's been at Slam a couple of
He
times.
Yeah,
has.
yeah, yes.
He's a party.
Oh yeah,
He's
he's a
good.
wild character, man. He's a
Yeah.
wild character for sure.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
hey, remember how I told you this hour's gonna go by quick?
Yep.
We're already at the hour.
Right.
Dang.
So Jeffrey, why don't you hit him?
Yes. Okay. All right, Miguel. So, if you've seen the podcast before, this is a question that we ask all of our guests. There's no right or wrong answers. Basically, we want to know what is your definition of a basehead.
My definition of a basehead. I really don't have one, but I would venture to say someone who is enthusiastic about the sport and wants to elevate the sport. Somebody that really wants to help everybody.
Mhm.
Win or lose. Like for me, I would say I'm a true basehead. I would be the first to help my competitor. And cheer them on. I mean, I'll be anybody's cheerleader.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's the first time we've had anybody say that answer of to elevate, the community, right?
Yeah.
So that's the first time we've had that.
Yeah.
One of the first true examples of something like that is at the 2008 or 2009 World Finals when we were in Laughlin. Um, the Canadians came down to Laughlin, Nevada, and Team Basic was there, and Team Basic was only behind by like 3/10 in the Street Max class, and the Canadians like, hey, you want to get those 3/10? And they gave him a trick, and the trick was so back then we were all lead acid batteries, right?
Right.
Starting your car took a charge off your lead acid batteries or your gel cell batteries. It would take, and it was enough of a charge that it cost them 5/10 of a dB.
Wow.
And so they used that. They didn't start their car. They just pushed into the lanes, and they ended up winning their match against somebody. I don't remember if it was for the championship, but it gave them that. They were down by 3/10 going in, and they ended up winning by 2/10 of a DB.
Nice.
And there was zero reason for the guy from Canada to point that out to him, you know. But that's the kind of that was like one of the first examples of, hey,
Hmm.
we're here to elevate everybody, win, lose, or whatever. We want you to be better because it's going to drive us to be better because you're better, right?
Yep.
So,
For
and I see that all the time in base race and stuff. You know,
sure.
we teach guys to be really good at base race because if they're good, that means I got to get better at it, right?
Yep.
True. So true.
So, all right. Hey, any sponsors or anything you would like to thank? Any people?
My wife,
It's
my wife,
important.
she is my biggest supporter. Like hands
Awesome.
Mm.
down. I mean, I can't thank her enough for all her support. I mean, she's the best. That's all I can say. So,
Okay.
but yeah,
All
and then
right.
of course my team. I can't thank
Yeah.
my
Hmm.
team enough. So,
Mm-hmm. Can't forget them.
yep.
All right. All right, Jeffrey, what do you got for us? Anything final words?
Yeah, I'm glad we had Miguel on. We often talk about the definition or what this podcast is about,
Mm-hmm.
and it basically everything that Miguel embodies is, elevating the car audio community, helping each other out, which, I hate to say, but not a lot of people do. But that's what we strive to do. And also what I wanted to mention too was um, we get asked a lot, the success, what can I do to be more successful? And one of the things I would say is surround yourself by like-minded individuals, which essentially is a team. Now, you don't have to be on the team or on a team specifically to, elevate yourself or, the karate community, but it definitely helps. Like if Sam didn't talk Miguel into, doing DB drag, he wouldn't have won his DB drag championship. So
Yep.
all of this is, we're not doing this podcast to take up space. So, we're trying to, tell people the success stories, like Miguel here. We want to help elevate other people to be as successful. And, that's exactly, Miguel here embodies what we try to do in the podcast every week. So I'm glad. I'm glad.
Sure. I appreciate you guys letting me have. Come on. Appreciate
Sure.
Sam Dunn says, "You're my boy, Blue." No, I want to, I want to echo what Jeffrey just said. Definitely, Miguel, you do embody um, what we try to promote with this podcast,
Yeah,
and
don't
that's
change.
yeah, don't change. That's awesome. Um, it's really cool to see people first time champions. She's going to have a nice ring to go with it,
I
which is
can't
going to be
wait.
awesome. Those rings, by the way, they usually come out around CES time,
Yeah.
just so you
Right.
know. So really cool. Scott Ain't Loud says, that's my daddy. That might be wrong. Hey, there's
Uh-oh.
Mike Smiley popping in. Says, what's up, guys?
Ah,
What's going on, Smiley?
But yes, no, it's awesome that you embody all that we really promote on this. And I think
hmm
there's a lot of it when you go to the shows. And as we say here, more than I can count, invite one person. If everybody invites one person to every show will double every single time. And very rarely do I ever get anybody that shows up to exactly what I thought it was. We did for a second. We're back though.
Oh, okay.
We went down for literally a hot second. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank Miguel. Miguel, thank you for coming on and sharing your story with us. We really, really
Hmm.
appreciate it. Jeffrey, the internet and TV superstar that he is. Hey, it's the first of the month. Did you do your little month recap yet?
Oh no, I'm really bad.
You're
I need to work
slacking.
on that. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm guessing it would be with your granddaughter, pumpkin
Oh
patches, maybe
yeah.
some trick
Oh
or
yeah.
treating.
Oh yeah. I think they might mix in some DB Drive finals in there too. So
Oh yeah, that's right. That we did
October,
have that
October.
in October too, maybe. But anyway, yeah, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you guys being here. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. We're still just struggling at around 500. Just so everybody knows, we way exceed the hours that are required. So you only need to have, I think, 1,000 hours of listening, and we get almost 5,000 hours a month of listening. So we
Wow.
exceed that. We get approximately, we're down a little bit from where we were at our peak, but we're still like 12 to 1,300 views a week. So, between our downloads, our listens, and all that. So, hey, share it with your friends, invite people, have them come in and listen. If I can get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, that's going to help. So if you guys are listening and aren't subscribers on YouTube, you haven't made a bunch of false accounts and subscribed, just saying. Um, but anyway, I want to thank everybody for listening. Thank you, Miguel. Thank you, Jeffrey. We'll be back again next week, Thursday night. The only Thursday we're taking off, we're going to take off for Thanksgiving.
Mm.
But we will be back. I think one day it will be great to have a few Team Ain't Loud members on the show in one time, Doug. Um,
Yeah.
we're not
Ah.
opposed to that. We've done that multiple times. We had the Team Send It. We had like 3 Team Send It guys on at the same time. So definitely something we can do. But open to everything you guys can do. Oh, Calvin says there are 6 at my house. Whatever that he's talking about there. I'm not sure.
Mm.
Anyway, we will be back next week at 6:30 California time, the only time that matters, back here on This Week in Car Audio. Peace. We out.